Hey, this is David and
Marie Miller.
And we're here to help you get
Real Estate Smart.
All right, the new real estate stats just came out, and I figured, who could help me do this?
Me!
Nobody better than my lovely wife here. So hang tight. We'll come back and interpret the data for you. All right, so before we get started, I have to mention something, because if I don't, I'm going to get in trouble.
What?
Doesn't my wife's hair look awesome? She just went to the hair salon yesterday, and if you think the same thing, go in the comments and tell her how great she looks.
She is my youth serum.
That's right. I set reminders for myself when I know she's going to the hair appointment. I'll send a reminder at 2 o'clock. Siri, remind me to tell her hair looks good. If not, I get in trouble.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyways,
that's right.
She looks good. I haven't been yet, so no worries.
Christina, love you.
That's right. So let's talk about what's going on in the market right now, because it is still a crazy market. I always like to start off with inventory.
Yep.
Inventory is up again, another 10% versus last year, and up 15% versus September.
Yeah.
Now, I want to put this in perspective here, because during COVID, inventory was crazy low, the lowest it's ever been, and probably the lowest it will ever be.
Yeah, and let me just remind you, the buyers were spending more money, over list, multiple offers, cash, and still not getting houses. So, no.
But to put this in perspective, we currently have 7,813 homes on the market. Our October stats of 2019, we had 7,837 homes. This is the first time in 4 years that we're at the same level that we were. Is it like we have too many homes? That is not the case, because we always look at months of supply, and we have about 3 months of supply in the market, which is still technically considered a seller's market.
Oh, yeah. I mean, back in, 2009, 2010, there were 26,000 houses on the market. That was a huge buyer's market.
Yeah.
Right? So we're still way far away from that.
You're showing our age when you tell them those
Not
stats.
my age, your age.
Okay. Exactly. Somebody's age.
That's right.
It's never yours. You got the hair.
No.
So what I like to look at is what's being added and what's being taken away.
Yeah.
So if we look at what's being added, we always look at new listings. New listings are actually down 3% in October versus September. Things that make you go, If we look at what's being taken away, we always look at the closings. So closings are down 15% versus September. And they are down as well 11% versus the same time last year. So why do you think that closings are down now compared to like October versus September?
Oh, it's definitely seasonality. People think that, don't put your houses on the market during the holidays. We're not going to go out and purchase houses, during the holidays, when actually I tell buyers this is the best time to purchase houses, because there's not a whole lot of demand. I mean, there's not a whole lot of competition out there.
Yeah.
So,
Less buyers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you may just be able to get a little bit of a deal out there during the holidays.
Absolutely. You can probably negotiate better, because if there's less buyers, the sellers are probably on the market for a reason, and they're motivated, and you can probably negotiate with them better as well.
Yeah, they're definitely motivated. If they have their house on the market as a listing during the holidays, definitely motivated.
So future closings, this is the future business. So this was interesting. New contracts are down 15% in October versus September. Endings are down 13%. It's showing that the future business is low.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on what caused that for October for that to drop so much?
Well, first thing that comes to mind is the interest rates. People have low interest rates in their house right now, and they want to wait until the interest rates come down.
Yeah, and when you're a buyer and the rates go up, it makes it less affordable.
Yes.
And you can buy less house than you could before, and if you wanted the same house, it would cost you more. And so that has a huge effect on it. Now, the average interest rate for October was 7.8%. That's up from 7.3%. So to your point, I think we have seasonality in there, of course, but I think a lot of it has to do with interest rate.
And the interest rate's still bumping up and down, still bumping all around.
I was going to say the good news is that the last 2 weeks rates have dropped quite a bit. They're down to to 7.4, 7.3 right now. That's within a 2-week period of time. So, my thoughts is when those rates get to a certain level, that's going to really bump up a lot of the demand that's out there in the marketplace, and it's just going to take off again. Let's talk about the pricing. We always end on the pricing because that's what everybody wants to know. How is all this mess affecting the price of my house? Remember, it's been going down the past 3 months, but it's going back up, which sort of defies logic here, but it's gone up to $377,000, the average median price home. So that's up 2% versus last month. We are seeing the interest rates bounce. We are seeing the average median price bounce as well. Amory, if we were to conclude this here and take all this great information we provided them, especially about your hair.
Yes, well.
If you're a buyer, what are your thoughts on this data versus a buyer perspective?
I still have PTSD from helping buyers during after COVID. I had a buyer who put all cash, $100,000 over the list price and lost the house because there were so many buyers out there that wanting the same house. I'm encouraging buyers to go ahead and purchase a house now. Do a 2-1 buy down, which is where you basically buy down the rate. The first year is 2 percentage points low. And the second year is 1 percentage low
versus the rate that they would get.
That they would get normally without that. Yeah. And then within 2 years, we're hoping that the interest rates will stop bouncing and get to a normal rate.
Yeah, I think the one thing we know is that from a pricing perspective, the market is not going to crash, okay? No. It's not going to be like it was before. No. We talked about that many times before.
It's a great time to buy.
The pricing of homes is going to continue to go up. Yeah. It is. There's not as many people buying now as before. I think with those low interest rates, it brought a lot of buyers into the market prior to maybe before they would have done that. Yeah. And that pulled a lot of the demand ahead of that. But pricing is going to continue to go up. So concerning the interest rates, you can buy a house now, and I guarantee within 5 years that the pricing is going to be higher than what it is now. I will also guarantee that the interest rate will be different than what it is now.
Gray hair.
Just the gray hair.
See? I'm perfectly fine because I've gotten my hair done.
It just means I'm talking too much. All right, so once again, those are the stats. That's how we feel it's going to affect the buyer market. Yeah. Next month, I will share with you what I think is going to affect the seller's market. And then don't forget the end of the year, I always do my predictions, the Swami does his predictions for the following year, which is 2024.
Santa, Swami, whoever.
Can't believe it.
Yeah.
So we hope that you are now
Real estate smart.